Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. So to make blackberry jam, you only need 3 ingredients: the blackberries of course, some white cane sugar and some lemon juice. And the reason for the lemon juice is because blackberries don't have a lot of pectin in them naturally. These ones I've picked, it's a good time to pick in August and September. And I've got a mixture of some ripe ones and a few that you can see got a bit of red on them there, but there's nothing wrong with that because they've actually got more pectin in. You just don't want to use the ones that are overly ripe. I've got about 800 grams here. You could use less, use more, depending on how much you want to make. So I've got 800 grams of sugar as well, so it's basically equal quantities of blackberries to sugar. And I've got 2 lemons that I've just juiced, so that will help the jam to set. You need some jars of course, which you need to sterilise. The best way to do that is you can just wash the jars and the lids in soapy water, don't dry them, and then just leave them to stand upside down on a roasting tray, and pop the tray with the clean wet jars and lids in the preheated oven. About 160 to 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes, and then that's an easy way to sterilise your jars. Okay, so I say this is a it's only 3 ingredients for the recipe, but it just needs some looking after, and I'm going to take you through it now. So what we want to do is, first of all, we want to just place the blackberries and the lemon juice into a large pan and just simmer gently for about 15 minutes until the fruit is soft. So let's get the gas on. Okay, alright, so we'll get that on and just need to simmer gently for about 15 minutes. So let's just add the lemon juice. We'll add that in. So for about 15 minutes, if you need to use a timer to time it, then that's a good idea to do that. And then meanwhile, what we want to do is we just want to warm the sugar in a low oven, and then we're going to add the sugar to it. So we just want to, the easiest way to do it is just to pull it into a baking tray, and then that will evenly spread it out. So I'm just going to do that now. You can hear the fruit starting to warm up. We just make sure that's on a real simmer, about 15 minutes. Okay, just want that really quite low. Okay, so the fruit's been gently simmering away for about 15 minutes. You can see it started to break down, release a lot of their juice. There's something really nice about blackberries cooking. It's that feel of summer and just such a nice smell and lovely colour as well. And jam's a good way of sort of preserving the summer months, because you enjoy the jam in the winter, in a sealed jar, it'll keep for up to a year, and then obviously once you've opened it, you can keep it in the fridge, make good presents as well. Now I'm going to add the sugar, which I've just got it on a baking tray. It's just been warmed through in a low oven. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that. So I'm just going to get oven gloves just so I can, because the tray is going to be hot. So we want to just get all this sugar in there. Let's get that all in. Scrape that bit. I know there's a bit going off the side, but there we go. What we want to do now is we want to just stir that in till all the sugars dissolved, keeping it on a low heat. So let's just stir that around. Let's just give that a good stir. I just want to make sure that all the sugar is nicely dissolved. And you can see how it's looking, you know, it's not done, but it's on the way to becoming jam. Just give that a good stir. Just want to make sure that all the sugar is nicely dissolved. It's got a lovely colour. Now just by stirring it, I can already feel that it's starting to thicken a bit, and that's because the lemon juice and the pectin that's within the blackberries has started to thicken it slightly. Look at that lovely colour. Like I say, I picked these blackberries, so obviously, you know, you only need the sugar and the lemon, so it's not going to cost you very much. You know, and obviously blackberries can be, you know, quite expensive in the supermarket, so if you do have some near you, then pick them, and of course just wash them, which I did in the colander. Just gave them a good wash. Right, so what we want to do now, because all the sugar has now dissolved, we're now just going to turn the heat up a bit, and then we want to bring it to a boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. So let's just turn that heat up. And then what we'll do is you can test the setting point. There's a couple of ways of doing that. You can either dip a large spoon into the pan of jam and scoop out a spoonful, and then just hold the spoon horizontally over the pan of jam and allow the jam to drip. The setting point has been reached when the jam forms a long drip, slightly resembling webbed feet, and hangs without dropping from the spoon. Or the cold plate test, of course. Place 2 or 3 saucers in the freezer. Once cold, spoonful of jam onto the cold saucers and push the jam with your finger. Of course, once it's cold, setting point has been reached when the jam wrinkles and set. Or what I'm going to do is, I've got a thermometer. If you've got a sugar thermometer, once it gets up to 104.5 degrees Celsius, on mine it's actually labelled jam, which is handy. So if you have one like that, so I'm going to put that in, and then that way we can keep an eye. We know it's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes, and obviously the temperature, we can see it's getting close to there already, so we'll just keep an eye on it. So as you can see, it's at the correct temperature now, so that should be at the stage we need it. And what we're going to do now is just going to turn the heat off, and then we're just going to just scoop any scum off the top and just leave it to sit for about 10 minutes. So let's turn the heat off. So I've let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I've just transferred it to a bowl, and then I've just got a variety of different sized jars that I'm just going to fill up while it's still hot, and then just put the lids on straight away. And then what you can do is, once it's cold, the nicer cold and the jars are easy to handle, you can then just put a label on them, put the date when you produced it and label it, whatever you want to put on it. And like I say, they keep for about a year. And then once open, just keep them in the fridge, and they make great gifts as well. I'm just going to use a ladle. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Just to put into the jars. Of course, be careful because it's still going to be quite warm. And then once you've filled them up, you just want to put the lid on. And like I say, you can label it once they're nice and cool. So I'm just going to fill these jars up. Use what size jars you want to do. Just make sure they've got a nice secure lid on them. So from the 800 grams of blackberries, got two nice